Alright there, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Got another video on Old Red here. Our 1983 Peterbilt 359. Today's video we're still kind of going through our winter maintenance here. Yesterday I finished going through drive axles. Today we're going to be working on pusher axle. I'm going to try to answer a few questions that I've gotten frequently on the pusher axle. Main one being, how does it steer? I don't know how many times I've been asked that question, but it's been a lot. We're going to try to go over that. Going to go over what's in this box. And we're also going to talk about tire wear a little bit. And then we're also going to repolish these wheels as we're going to have them off, mounting some new tires. So anyway, let's get to it. I don't know what the temp is out today. It probably feels like it's 20. Supposed to be some snow coming in here tonight. I just decided I just felt like working outside today. You got a little bit more room out here. This Milwaukee Impact does take lug nuts off. As long as they're properly torqued, it is a little more convenient than dragging that big air hose around. Gotta make sure you have a fresh battery in it though. So these wheels haven't been off in about 140,000 miles. There we go. They're just a little bit stuck. No biggie. Okay, so real quick here, let's go through how this thing steers. Now, a lot of people thought there'd be a mechanical link between this and the steer axle. That's not the case. Basically, all you've got here is you've got a tie rod and a couple of steering stabilizers. You've got a kingpin. And that's really about it. When you drop this axle down, it's basically got a lot of caster angle like a shopping cart wheel. So basically, when this tire is down on the ground and you go around a corner, it just follows. And the caster angle straightens the wheel back out when you're going straight. There is no mechanical link between this axle and the steer axle. Basically, it's just got a lot of caster angle like a shopping cart, and it follows wherever the truck goes. Makes it so that these tires don't scrub. If it was a fixed axle, you have 10 feet between the center of this axle and the center of that axle, and as you'd turn, that would drag those tires. And because this allows it to turn, it does help with your tire wear. So that's really all there is to how this thing steers. Okay, so now we're going to come back inside here. We're going to talk a little bit about tire wear. Now you can see this is actually still a pretty decent tire. It really doesn't need to be changed here yet. This tire runs smooth. It doesn't bounce or anything. But this will still make a really nice tire for the step deck trailer. It's the same size tire. And this is starting to get a little bit of unusual tire wear on it. So you kind of roll it around here, you can start seeing that there's some random cupping going on here. You got some cupping here, cupping here, cupping here. Pretty smooth here, but you got a little bit of cupping here on this side. Here you've got a spot where it's cupping just on the center rib. And it's not entirely unusual to get a little bit of unusual tire wear on a pusher axle. It's just the way they are. There's no shock absorbers for going over bumps, just the steering dampeners. And this tire has been on the truck for about 140,000 miles. Now granted, that tire doesn't have 140,000 miles on it because that axle's only on the ground when you need it for weight. If I'm over 34,000 pounds on my drive axle, I can put that axle down and remain legal. I normally run about 42,000 pounds on my drive axle group. I'm actually legal to 48,000, but I've got the sum of all my axle group weights is higher than what I can be gross. So I take a little bit of weight off the truck and I max out the trailer, and I run about 42,000 pounds on my drive axle group, 48,000 pounds on my triple axle trailer group. But anyway, before I get sidetracked, that's the tire wear that we're seeing on this. Now if we come up here to the steer axle on the truck, I had been getting the exact same tire wear on my steer axle. And then I installed what's in this box here. And that tire wear issue seems to have gone completely away. Now I did also switch, same brand of tire, but I did put a different model. I had been running the Toyo M154s, I believe they were. I went to the Toyo M177s at the same time that I added the centramatic hub balancers. But so far, these tires have about 45,000 miles on them, and this issue would have already been starting to show up by this point, and it's not. These tires are wearing perfectly smooth, absolutely no cupping, no shakes, no shimmies. Now I had tried lots of different things for tire balancing. I've run beads, I've had them spin balanced, and spin balancing seems to work better than the beads. But the problem with spin balancing is you got to take them in and get them rebalanced about every 20,000 miles or so in order for it to keep this problem from showing up. And you know, that's just, I don't have a wheel balancer that can do big truck wheels, and it's really inconvenient to stop everything that you're doing in the middle of the day to go run to a tire shop and sit there for 2 hours for them to rebalance your steer tires for you. So anyway, I had installed this set of wheel balancers. If I can get this dang box open one-handed. When I had put those tires on up there, and they seem to have done the trick. Now I didn't do a video on it or talk about them when I installed them because I kind of was pretty skeptical, but so far they seem to be working. Now all there is to installing these, you just find the set of holes on here that they fit in, and you slide them on, you install your, looks like we gotta go to the bigger ones. Well, shoot. That's not gonna work. Dang it. Yeah, this ring hits this on this brake drum. Doesn't let it slide on all the way. That's a bummer. Now you got several different part numbers of these. I must have ordered a part number that doesn't work with this hub and drum setup here. I'll have to go look into that and get the right one ordered. But you can see them up here on this wheel. They basically just sandwich between the drum and the hub there, and they're bolted on with the wheel. And these have a oil-like fluid in them, and basically like a shot bead. And yeah, they just basically balance the wheel assembly through centrifugal force, and they seem to work pretty good when you order the right part number. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get these tires swapped out and repolish our wheels like we were going to do anyway. And then these wheels will end up on my step deck trailer, where they will still last a very long time. Alright, so not a show quality shine by any means, but nice, quick, and dirty polish. There it is next to the wheel that hasn't been polished in a year. Definitely looks nicer. Looks good enough for this guy. Go ahead and put this back on the truck. Do that one. We're sparing you guys watching all that. Alright, so wheels are on. As you guys can see, it's actually starting to snow pretty good out here. Basically all I got to do is just drop this axle down here quick so that the wheels don't spin, and torque the lug nuts, and then I'll be done with what I'm doing for right at the moment. Alright, so here we are like 50,000 miles later. You can see totally different season out here now. Now summertime, and tires are wearing pretty good. Got a little bit of edge wear starting right here. I don't really feel it has anything to do with tire balance, but we can see we got the centramatic hub balancers on here still. Same thing on the pusher axle. We got those on like a week after filming the first part of this video. And these tires are wearing absolutely perfect. Thing's still running down the road just as smooth as can be. So I'm pretty happy. I think this is a good long-term solution. Short-term, you know, if you're not going to keep truck or keep running them for a long period of time, they don't really make sense because they're not very cheap. But because they're reusable, you can use them set after set of tires. You know, they seem to work better than the balancing beads do. They're not susceptible to, you know, moisture in the air and the tires and stuff that causes the balancing beads to clump up. You know, so you don't have that issue. You don't have the reoccurring cost of spin balancing. So all in all, I think that these are a pretty good solution. I think I'd recommend them. Yeah, that's my experience and thought on the centramatic hub balancers. I think I'm going to keep running them. I don't regret purchasing them. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Thanks.